Shri Guru Namaha children, I welcome you all to our online English class. In today's class, we are going to be continuing the lesson, the Bholi children. In the last session, we saw Bholi was sent to school and wherein she meets a new teacher who is encouraging her to speak. Okay, that is where we left. Let us continue through the story and find out what is happening. The book was full of nice pictures and the pictures were in color. Dog, cat, goat, horse, parrot, tiger and a cow, just like Lakshmi. And with every picture was a word in a big black letters. In 1 month, you will be able to read this book. Then I will give you a bigger book, then a still bigger one. In time, you will be more learned than anyone else in the village. So the teacher is encouraging this girl to read. In the first place, she is offering her a book with pictures, colorful pictures, because the teacher was able to see this girl was attracted towards colorful pictures. So she gave a book containing pictures. Beneath every picture, there was a name of the animal which was there. And the teacher also said, if you have completed reading this, I'll give you a bigger one, and after that a still more bigger one. And in a few months' time, you'll be able to read everything very fluently and you'll be more learned than anybody in the village. Then no one will ever be able to laugh at you. People will listen to you with respect and you will be able to speak without the slightest stammer. So this effort from the teacher is to bring in the confidence out of Bholi. Okay, she was so, she was low, okay, she was down always. This confidence of learnedness would just, she thought, the teacher thought that this learning would give her new outlook towards life. Understand? Now go home and come back early tomorrow morning. Bholi felt as if suddenly all the bells in the village temple were ringing and the trees in front of the schoolhouse had blossomed into big red flowers. So after the encouraging words of the teacher, Bholi felt very happy, as though a sign of good omen. Okay, she was feeling as though the doors have been opened for her. Her heart was throbbing with a new hope and a new life. So she was expecting something good is going to happen in the near future. She started living the moment of her life and enjoying every second of it. Thus the years passed, the village became a small town. The little primary school became a high school. There were now a cinema under a tin shed and a cotton ginning mill. So now the place, few years rolled by, now the village has now developed, okay, to a semi-urban place. Now there were theatres, okay, cinemas were showed under the sheds, which means theatres have come, schools have changed from primary school to high school, and all these things have come, and also a cotton ginning mill. Ginning mill is cotton, weaving cotton through to threads, is a cotton ginning mill. The mail train began to stop at their railway station. One night after dinner, Ramlal said to his wife, "Then shall I accept Bishambar's proposal?" "Yes, certainly," his wife said. So we are now shown into the transformation of the village. Years have passed by. Obviously, Bholi would have grown up. Now that the conversation about Bholi's future is popping up. And now Ramlal is starting to ask his wife whether to accept Bishambar's proposal or not. And the wife is very positive. Okay, let us take up the proposal. Bholi will be lucky to get such a well-to-do bridegroom, a big shop, a house of his own, and I hear several thousand in the bank. So they have now found a groom for Bholi who is very rich. Okay, he has his own house, his own business, and he is also having lots of money in bank. Moreover, he is not asking for any dowry. That's right. But he is not so young, you know, almost the same age as I am. And he also limps. So that man Bishambar was not asking for any dowry. Dowry is also a custom of giving money to the bridegroom on terms of marriage. So he was also not expecting any dowry from this girl. Okay, so in every way Ramlal as well as his wife found it a very decent proposal for them to accept. Okay, but there was certain drawbacks in it. Why? Because Bishamba was old. He was old as Ramlal. Okay, this girl Bholi was made to marry somebody who is the age of her father. So that was the only thing. Otherwise, he was rich. He was not expecting any dowry and anything else. And one more thing was he was limping. Limping means he had trouble in walking. Moreover, the children from his first wife are quite grown up. So we come to understand he is already married and he is having his own children from his first wife, and those children are all grown up. We can understand if he is at the age of Ramlal, so definitely he would be having children, grown up children. So they were just considering the facts, the pros and cons, whether to accept Vishamba's proposal or not. So what does it matter? His wife replied, 45 or 50. It is no great age for a man. We are lucky that he is from another village and does not know about her pockmarks and her lack of sense. So the mother is now telling, who cares what is the age of the person? And he is a man. He is ready for marriage at any point of his lifetime. 40 or 50 doesn't at all matter for a man. He is a fit bridegroom. And moreover, the fact is that he doesn't know about Bholi. He is from the other village. He doesn't know about Bholi. Bholi is definitely not pretty and definitely not very intelligent. For such a girl, this offer was a very bright offer according to the mother. We are lucky that he is from the another village and does not know about the pockmarks and her lack of sense. If we don't accept this proposal, she may remain unmarried all her life. Yes, but I wonder what Bholi will say. What will that witless one say? She is like a dumb cow. So now the father, it is a marriage discussion. The parents have discussed. Now that Ramlal is worried, what Bholi is going to say. Okay, even though everything seems to be favorable, he is worried what this girl would say. Okay, immediately the mother is interrupting that what she has to say about it. Okay, she has no word in this discussion. She is witless. Witless means somebody who is lacking sense, who is not intelligent. Witless means not intelligent. And she is a dumb cow. Dumb cow means what? Cow doesn't have any sense to think. Okay, just like an animal, she is just a living thing. She doesn't have any sense. That is how the mother is referring to the child. Witless means not intelligent. Maybe you're right, muttered Ramlal. In the other corner of the courtyard, Bholi lay awake on her cot, listening to her parents' whispered conversation. So the father is telling, yeah, what you're telling is correct. Okay, if not Bishambar, nobody is going to marry Bholi, and she has to stay unmarried throughout her life. So instead of staying unmarried, it is better to marry her to some old man. So that is how the parents have discussed. And Bholi was listening. She was lying on a cot outside and she was listening to this conversation. Bishamba Nath was a well-to-do grocer. He came with a big party of friends and relations with him for the wedding. A brass band playing a popular tune from an Indian film headed the procession, with the bridegroom riding a decorated horse. A typical North Indian wedding. The bridegroom would come on the horse and all the dance, drama, partying was all going on, and he was rich. The marriage has been set up and now he is coming for the wedding. He was a well-to-do grocer means what? He was a shop owner. Ramlal was overjoyed to see such a pomp and splendor. So Ramlal was happy. Okay, he was happy that he is going to get his daughter married to somebody who is very rich. Okay, pomp and splendor means what? Something which is very luxurious, very rich, hi-fi. He had never dreamt that his fourth daughter would have such a grand wedding. Bholi's elder sisters, who had come for the occasion, were envious of her luck. So the father himself didn't believe that his daughter would have a perfect match like this, that to a rich person would be the groom. And also the sisters, okay, were envious of her. Envious means what? They were jealous. They were jealous that this girl was married to a rich man, is going to be married to a rich man. When the auspicious moment came, the priest said, "Bring the bride." So when the auspicious moment, all of us know when there is a marriage ceremony, there would be an auspicious time which is set. Only during that, this tying of the or exchanging rings or tying of the sacred sutras and all will take place. So the auspicious time is a good time. Bholi, clad in red silken bridal dress, was led to the bride's place near the sacred fire. Bholi, clad in red silken dress. Clad means dressed up. Clad means dressed. So she was beautifully dressed with a red bridal dress and she was brought to the place where the marriage was going to take place. Garland the bride, one of his friends, prompted Bishambar Nath. The bridegroom lifted the garland of the yellow marigolds. So when the bride came to the place, one of the friends of Bishambar Nath advised him. Prompted means what? He suggested. Okay, he suggested him to exchange the garland or to garland the girl. The women slipped back the silken veil from the bride's face. Bishambar took a quick glance. The garland remained poised in his hands. So in order to garland this veil which the girl was wearing, okay, she had covered her face with a veil. So this veil was slipped back. It was opened so that the groom was able to see this girl. Only when she opened the veil, Bishambar Nath took the first glance of this girl. So far he didn't know how Bholi would look like. So this is the place, this is the first time he is seeing Bholi. Okay, and he didn't want to garland the bride. He was having the garland in his hands. The garland remained poised in his hands means what? He didn't garland the girl. He was having the garland in his hands itself. The bride slowly pulled down the veil over her face. "Have you seen her?" said Bishambar to the friend next to him. "She has pockmarks on her face." "So what? You are not young either." "Maybe, but if I am to marry her, her father must give me 5,000 rupees. So Bishambar has now seen that this girl is having pockmarks throughout her face. Okay, and he is not willing to marry the girl free of cost. So he is telling if in case he has to continue with the wedding, the father or Ramlal should pay him 5,000 rupees. Only then he will marry this girl. And when the friend asked, okay, why you are doing like this, he says that this girl is having pockmarks. And he is telling you are also not very young, okay, you are an old person. Does it even matter? But Bishambar was not ready to agree with this. Okay, he says that he wants 5,000 rupees in order to marry Bholi. Ramlal went and placed his turban, his honor, at Bishambar's feet. "Do not humiliate me so. Take 2,000 rupees. No, 5,000, or we go back." So Ramlal is a father, okay, for the girl, the bride's father. Obviously, this man should be taking the responsibility of the entire marriage. So he couldn't stand that the wedding was going to be stopped. Okay, so he is going and pleading to Bishambar Nath, okay, not to do this. Okay, and he is also willing to give 2,000 rupees. Okay, not 5,000. He says that I will give you 2,000 rupees and please marry my girl. But Bishambar Nath was very stubborn. He says only 5,000. If not 5,000, they are getting back. Keep your daughter. Be a little considerate, please. If you go back, I can never show my face in the village. Then out with 5,000. So he is telling, he is pleading, he is requesting, okay, Bishambar to marry the girl. Why? Because if the wedding is going to be cancelled, nobody would come and marry Bholi. So he was afraid that the girl would lose her life. So he was pleading to Bishambar Nath. But Bishambar was not ready to accept. He says, if you are very much bothered about your daughter's future, better go and get 5,000 rupees. Tears streaming down his face, Ramlal went in, opened the safe and counted out the notes. So he was worried, okay, just because of the money. He didn't want his daughter to lose her life. So he is running back home, he is opening the safe. Safe is a locker wherein they keep the money. So he is opening the safe and he is counting the notes and bringing it back. He placed the bundle at the bridegroom's feet. On Bishambar's greedy face appeared a triumphant smile. So upon bringing and placing the money, the bundle of money on the bridegroom's feet, Bishambar was very happy. Okay, he is having a very triumphant smile. Triumphant smile means a victorious smile, as if he has won something. Okay, he had gambled and won. Give me the garland, he announced. Once again, the veil was slipped back from the bride's face, but this time her eyes were not downcast. So he is telling, after seeing the 5,000 rupees, now he is asking the garland to be brought so that the marriage will continue to take place. But this time the veil, okay, it was slipped back, and now this time this Bholi was not feeling sad, she was not feeling depressed and all, she was not putting her heads downcast. Okay. She was looking straight at her prospective husband. In her eyes there was neither anger nor hate, only cold contempt. So now she doesn't want to see somebody like that. Okay, she was not at all having any respect for that man who she was going to marry. Okay, because he is a person who has agreed to marry her just upon seeing this 5,000 rupees. So this time she was not showing any interest or any respect, okay, for her future husband. Bishambar raised the garland to place it round the bride's neck, but before he could do so, Bholi's hand struck out like a streak of lightning and the garland was flung into the fire. So Bishambar Nath, when he was trying to garland the girl, this girl, she is stopping him, okay, and she is taking the garland from his hand and she threw it in the fire. It was flung into the fire means what? It was thrown into the fire. She got up and threw away the veil. Pitaji, said Bholi in a clear, loud voice, and her father, mother, sisters, brothers, relations and neighbors were startled to hear her speak without even a slightest stammer. So she is getting up of that place and she is calling Pitaji in a very sharp, loud, clear voice. Everybody is now startled. So there were two reasons. One is she has stopped the marriage and she has thrown away the garland into the fire, okay, which is a very huge disrespect. Nobody would do that. Okay, she has now thrown the garland into the fire, and the next thing was she rose up fiercely and she shouted Pitaji. Nobody had ever seen, okay, Bholi speaking without stammering and speaking without any hindrance. Okay, this girl was showing so much of confidence in her voice. Startled, I told you, startled means everybody was surprised. Pitaji, take back your money. I am not going to marry this man. Ramlal was thunderstruck. The guests began to whisper, so shameless, so ugly and so shameless. So this girl is now very stubborn. She is telling, Daddy, you can take back your money because I am not willing to marry this person anymore. Okay. and everybody, okay, who were sitting, who were gathered for the wedding, they started speaking ill of Bholi because she stopped a marriage. Okay, they were calling her, you are being ugly and you yourself are stopping the wedding and you should be shameless. You should be shameless to do such a act. Bholi, are you crazy? Shouted Ramlal. You want to disgrace your family? Have some regard for your izzat, for our izzat. So Bholi's father is now angry. He is telling Bholi, why are you doing like this? Okay, if you do like this will affect the respect of our family. Okay, what about our family values? What about the respect which people have for our family? If you are going to behave like this, definitely our family's respect would be devalued. Okay. So he is shouting at the daughter, asking her whether she had gone crazy. See, izzat means respect. Okay, izzat means respect. And disgrace to your family means what? Ill name or bad name to the family. For the sake of your izzat, said Bholi, I was willing to marry this lame old man. But I will not have such a mean, greedy and contemptible coward as my husband. So this girl is explaining, just because I thought of your respect, just because I was willing to safeguard the respect of our family, I agreed for this wedding. Okay, and I cared for you so much, but you have found only a lame man for me. So this was the thought of the girl, and she says that she doesn't want to marry somebody who is very greedy. Contemptible, contemptible means somebody who is deserves to be disgraced, deserving to be disgraced. I won't, I won't, I won't. What a shameless girl. We all thought she was a harmless dumb cow. Bholi turned violently on the old woman. Yes, auntie, you are right. You all thought I was a dumb driven cow. That's why you wanted to hand me over to this heartless creature. So this girl, everybody started speculating. They started commenting about this girl. She's ugly, she's shameless. And they were all thinking that this girl was harmless, she didn't have any sense, she wouldn't take any decision of her own. And all of a sudden seeing this girl, okay, acting so aggressively, so violently, with a very sharp confidence, everybody was astonished. What is happening to this girl? And she is turning to the lady who remarked her, and she is asking, just because you didn't value me, okay, you were ready to put me in the hands of such a greedy person. If you had thought I am also a girl, I also have a heart, you wouldn't have done this, man. You wouldn't have done this to me. You wouldn't have chosen this kind of a man for me. You all thought I am a senseless creature, so you were ready to hand me down to a greedy person. But now the dumb cow, the stammering fool, is speaking. Do you want to hear more? Bishambarnath, the grocer, started to go back with his party. The confused bandsman thought it was the end of the ceremony and struck up a closing song. Ramlal stood rooted to the ground, his head bowed low with the weight of grief and shame. After hearing this girl speak like this, Bishambarnath didn't want to stay there. So he starts leaving along with his party, means the family members, his relatives, everything. They started moving back, and the bandmen which he brought, they thought the wedding was over. So while they were walking back, they were playing the ending tune. Okay, they didn't know the marriage was stopped. So they were playing the ending tune and they were walking away. And here, coming back to the Bholi's family, Ramlal was deeply hurt. Okay, he was very sad that the wedding of the daughter has been cancelled. The flames of the sacred fire slowly died down. Everyone was gone. Ramlal turned to Bholi and asked, "But what about you? No one will ever marry you now. What shall we do with you?" And Sulekha said in a voice that was calm and steady, "Don't you worry, Pitaji. In your old age, I will serve you and mother, and I will teach in the same school where I learned so much." So now everybody has left, only the family was there, and the father, okay, he was asking this girl, "What are you going to do? You have stopped the marriage and nobody will be ready to marry you ever again. So what about your future?" Only then this girl is telling, "I am not going to get married anymore. I am going to serve you. I want to take care of you during your old age." So she is telling that I will be taking care of you during your old age, and I will also work as a teacher in the same school where I studied. So this is my future plan. "Isn't that right, ma'am?" The teacher had all along stood in a corner watching the drama. "Yes, Bholi, of course," she replied, and in her smiling eyes was the light of a deep satisfaction that an artist feels when contemplating the completion of her masterpiece. So after talking all these things, she is turning to the teacher and asking and taking her suggestion whether what she has done is right or wrong. And the teacher was so happy to see this transformation, this evolution of a girl from a submissive, stammering girl to a very self-confident, very optimistic girl. Okay, she was very happy that Bholi had made the right choice. Okay, so she was happy. She was having the triumphant smile. She was having a victorious smile on her face because she has transformed the life of an innocent girl. Okay. She felt as though how an artist would feel happy after completing his masterpiece. So this teacher was feeling so happy that she has transformed. She had been the light of somebody who is very ignorant. Okay, I hope you would have understood this lesson and hope to meet you all in the next session. Before closing, please do subscribe our YouTube channel for more updates. Thank you, children.